Act as if you're on a mission from God. My friends, tonight I want to tell you something that will transform the way you see yourself, your life, and your purpose. You are not here by accident. You are not a wandering being thrown about by chance, fate, or fortune. No, you are here because you have been sent. You have come into this world clothed in flesh and bone, not simply to exist, but to create. And if you would only act as if you're on a mission from God, the heavens themselves would open up and bow before the authority you carry, if you would only believe it. All that you behold, though it appears without, it is within, in your imagination, of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. Do not mistake the appearance of things for their essence. You see, the world does not reflect who you are. The world reflects what you believe yourself to be. If you believe you are ordinary, you will find 1,000 confirmations. But if you dare to act as if you're on a mission from God, you will discover what God has planted in you, what God is through you. You are the operant power. You are the one who chooses what to assume and what to expect. And if your assumption is that you are on divine assignment, then the world will shape itself to that divine image. You may say, but I do not feel chosen. I do not feel important. I am just trying to get by. And I say to you, that is the lie the world has taught you to repeat. From the beginning you were chosen. From the beginning you were loved, and not just loved passively, but trusted with creative power. God became man, that man may become God. The spark of the infinite is in you, and it is waiting, patiently, silently, for you to awaken to it. So what does it mean to act as if you're on a mission from God? It means you walk not in fear, but in faith. You do not shrink from challenges. You bless them, knowing they are part of the unfolding purpose. You rise each morning not asking, what will the world give me, but declaring, what will I bring to the world? You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled because you know that your desire is not an accident. It is the echo of what you are already destined to express. You see, desire is not something foreign to you. Desire is God's whisper. When you desire a life of wealth, love, peace, purpose, it is not greed, it is guidance. It is your soul remembering what you came here to build. And so when you ignore your desires, you are not being humble, you are being forgetful. You are forgetting your mission. You are forgetting who sent you. Scripture says, go into all the world and preach the gospel. But what is the gospel? The gospel is the good news that imagination creates reality. The gospel is the truth that man is not merely flesh, but spirit wrapped in flesh. That the imagination of man is the creative power of God in action. That to imagine is to pray. That to feel it real is to make it real. Do you understand now? When you act as if you're on a mission from God, you begin to carry yourself with inner authority. You do not plead with life, you declare to life. You command reality not arrogantly, but faithfully. Not because you are greater than others, but because you recognize that you and God are one. When I say act as if, I do not mean to pretend. Pretending is for the mind. Acting as if is for the soul. It is to live from the end, to move as though what you've asked for has already been given. You are not waiting for confirmation. Your inner world is the confirmation. You are the cause, not the effect. You are the producer, not the audience. Life does not happen to you, it flows from you. Now imagine this. Imagine if every day you woke up knowing you were on divine mission. Would you drag your feet? Would you complain of your circumstance? Or would you see even the smallest moment as part of a sacred story unfolding? You would not shrink from responsibility, you would rise into it. You would not ask, am I worthy? You would declare, he who sent me has made me worthy. You would not fear failure, for failure itself would be seen as feedback, a redirection, not rejection. You would not judge the outer appearance of things. You would not say, it's not working. You would say, it is working through me, even if I do not yet see how. That is what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. The outer world is always catching up to your inner world. So if you act as if you're on a mission from God, the world must respond accordingly. It must deliver to you the situations, the people, the events that support that assumption. Because the world is not separate from you. The world is your mirrored self, responding to the convictions you carry. People often ask me, Neville, how long should I persist in an assumption? And I tell them, until it hardens into fact. That is all. You do not plant a seed and dig it up every morning to see if it has sprouted. You plant the seed, and you live in the certainty that it must bear fruit. The mission has already been given to you. It is written in your heart, and when you act from that place, miracles no longer surprise you. They become expected. Do not be distracted by appearances. The moment you assume your divine mission, you will encounter resistance, not from God, but from your old self, your old patterns, your old limitations. They will rise up to be dissolved. Welcome them, face them with courage. For every time you choose faith over fear, love over doubt, assumption over circumstance, you are fulfilling your mission. This world needs you awakened. It needs people who walk as if they have been sent by something higher, something sacred. It needs you to remember what you have forgotten, that you are a creator, that you are not here merely to survive, but to radiate. You are not here to conform, but to transform, not to fit in, but to lift up. That is your mission. You don't need permission. You need only conviction. The permission has already been written in your soul. You are not asking for approval. You are expressing divine authority. To act as if you're on a mission from God is to know that you do not walk alone. You are not pushing the boulder uphill. The entire universe is conspiring to fulfill the image you hold in your imagination. Now hear me clearly. This is not about arrogance. It is not about ego. It is about awakening. It is about recognizing the God within and walking with that fire in your heart. Jesus said, "As the Father has sent me, so send I you." And what did he mean? He meant that each of us carries within us the same divine breath, the same sacred potential, the same power to speak things into being. Do not diminish yourself with doubt. Do not delay your dream because the outer world seems stubborn. The world is simply waiting for you to know who you are. And when you know it, when you assume it, when you live it, you will see that everything changes. Do not say, "But I am not ready." You would not have the desire if you were not ready. The desire is the evidence that the thing is already yours. It is already done. You are simply moving into alignment with it. And the moment you assume the state, the moment you feel it real, the world begins to rearrange. God needs no external permission to act, and neither do you. For the God you are looking for is not in the sky, not in the stars, but in the stillness of your being, in your imagination, in your heart. That is where the mission was planted, and that is where the miracle begins. So go now. Go boldly, go faithfully, go with the confidence that comes not from the world but from within. Speak to yourself as one who has been sent, live as one who knows they are part of a larger story. Walk as one who has seen the end and lives from that victory. You are not here by accident. You are not here to pass time, you are here to fulfill something eternal. And when you live as if that is true, you become unstoppable. You may not yet see all the evidence, but if you persist in the assumption, it will come. It must come. For imagination, fused with faith, is the most powerful force in the universe. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are not asking for proof. You are the proof. Remember who you are. You are on a mission from God. Speak like it, think like it, move like it, forgive like it, love like it. Act as if every step you take is guided by heaven, because it is. When the world tries to convince you otherwise, return to the truth. Close your eyes. Enter the silence. Imagine the end. Feel it real. And then open your eyes again, not to see what is, but to command what shall be. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The mission is already written. Now live it. Live it with a kind of divine madness. A holy boldness that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Walk into rooms, not with arrogance, but with awareness that you carry something sacred, something unseen yet undeniable. Every interaction becomes a part of your ministry, every word a prayer, every intention a declaration. And when others ask you, "How are you so sure?" you will smile, not to boast, but because you know something they have forgotten, that you are not creating from scratch, you are remembering what was always true. You are not trying to make something happen. You are aligning with what already is. Your assumptions are not idle thoughts. They are the blueprint of creation. Every time you persist in the assumption that you are on a mission from God, your world takes shape around it. People will appear. Opportunities will present themselves. Paths will clear, not because you forced them, but because you remembered who you were sent here to be. The ancient scriptures never spoke of the chosen as passive. They were called, and they moved with certainty. And so must you. To act as if you're on a mission from God means to never again betray your inner truth for outer approval. It means you value your vision more than your circumstances. It means that even when the world says no, you say yes, because your inner world already said yes first. What if I told you that the very situation you are facing right now is not in the way of your mission, but part of it? What if the delay is part of the divine setup? What if the resistance is the very thing refining your power of assumption? If you truly believed you were here on assignment, would anything really have the power to discourage you? No longer shall you live as if you are waiting for permission to rise, you have already risen. The call is not coming, it already came, and you are the answer. You are not trying to become someone, you are revealing someone, you are uncovering the layers of doubt, fear, limitation, and stepping into the radiance of your divine origin. And yes, at times you may feel lonely, but do not mistake solitude for abandonment. Often God will isolate you not to punish you, but to prepare you, not to remove you, but to refine your focus, so that when you re-emerge, you do so with clarity, with power, and with purpose. When you act as if you're on a mission from God, you begin to see the invisible as more real than the visible. You begin to speak things that have not yet materialized, and you do so without shame, because your faith is stronger than your eyes. You walk in the assurance that what you have imagined is more truthful than what your senses report. This is not delusion. This is the highest form of consciousness. This is living as God intended, not as a reactor to life, but as a creator, not as a beggar of blessings, but as a bringer of blessings. And that is the power you reclaim the moment you assume your divine mission. So continue. Continue even when nothing seems to move. Continue when the world mocks your faith. Continue when the voice of fear becomes loud. Because those moments are the gatekeepers of breakthrough, and once you walk through them, you will never again return to the small version of yourself. When others come to you, asking for hope, for light, for truth, you will not need to preach. Your life will speak louder than your words. Your calm will radiate understanding. Your peace will become contagious. Your abundance will become a testimony, not of effort, but of alignment. So live as if you've already been told, "You are my beloved, in whom I am well pleased." Live as if heaven itself rejoices when you wake up in the morning, because it does. Your very breath is a sign that God is not finished creating through you. The story is still unfolding, and the climax has not yet arrived. You are part of that unfolding story. And the world is waiting not for your perfection, but for your presence. Your bold, faithful, unwavering presence. Let them see someone who lives not from fear, but from imagination. Let them witness the power of someone who assumes the highest truth about themselves and dares to act on it. And when they ask you what your secret is, tell them gently, "I am simply living as if I've been sent, because I have." Keep walking, keep imagining, keep assuming, keep trusting, because the mission is real and you are the proof of it. The beauty of it all, my friend, is that you don't need to see the entire path to walk with confidence. You only need to see the next step and to take it as if it has already been blessed. Each step taken in faith reinforces the truth of your mission. You are no longer acting from reaction, but from revelation. You are no longer ruled by what others expect of you. You are guided only by the inner knowing, that still small voice that whispers, "This is the way, walk in it." The world around you begins to shift the moment you embody the assumption. Doors you never noticed swing open. Conversations are sparked at the right moment. Coincidences begin to multiply until even the most skeptical among you must admit something divine is working through you. But you know better. It is not outside of you. It is you awakened. It is your divine nature finally given the stage it deserves. No longer shall you pray for things in desperation. You shall commune with your desires as though they have already been fulfilled. You shall not ask from lack, but give thanks from abundance. Because now you understand that gratitude, before the evidence, is not fantasy, it is faith. And faith is the currency of creation. Others may tell you to be realistic, but you, having remembered your mission, will redefine reality itself. You are not a product of your environment. You are the author of it. You do not wait for life to give you permission to dream. You dream because dreaming is your divine right. And more than that, It is your divine responsibility. There is no dream too big for the one sent by God. There is no vision too vast. You are not being arrogant by thinking boldly, you are being obedient to the Spirit that dwells within you. That's what it means to act as if you're on a mission from God. To accept the weight and the wonder of that truth, to stop negotiating with your destiny, and to begin embodying it. The feeling of your fulfilled mission must become more real to you than the facts of your current life. That feeling, that sacred assumption, is the engine. It is the seed. And if you nourish it daily, with feeling, with attention, with repetition, it must bear fruit. It is law. Imagination, when fused with belief, will reshape even the most unyielding facts. This is the divine order. First in imagination, then in form. First in spirit, then in matter. You are not here to chase results. You are here to create results by seeing them first within and moving as if they are already so. Do not wait for your environment to change before you change. Change yourself in consciousness. Change your assumption. Assume that you are chosen, that you are favored, that you are here to bless and be blessed, that you are here to transform lives. Not through might, not through effort, but through the vibration of your own knowing. You carry the light of God, not as metaphor but as fact. You are the expression of the divine in human form. Your imagination is the instrument, your assumptions are the script, and your faith is the permission slip that allows heaven to manifest through you. So when you rise tomorrow, rise with the knowing that every breath is purpose, every thought is creation, every moment is sacred. Speak not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Think not as one who waits, but as one who moves. Feel not as one who doubts, but as one who remembers. Because the moment you act as if you're on a mission from God, you no longer fear what's to come. You embrace it. You no longer shrink from the unknown. You welcome it, for the unknown becomes the canvas for your imagination. An imagination properly directed is God in action. When you walk through this life with that awareness, when every act, every thought, every word becomes an extension of your divine purpose, you will find that even so-called obstacles begin to serve you. Resistance becomes refinement. Delays become divine timing. Rejection becomes redirection. There is nothing wasted in the life of one who walks as if they are on a mission from God. Every experience, every moment is folded into the grand design of fulfillment. You will begin to see clearly. Everything that happened was not happening to you. It was happening for you. When the mind tries to convince you otherwise, you return, not to fear, but to assumption. You return not to asking, why is this happening to me, but to declaring, this too is part of my mission. This too, though I may not yet see it, is shaping me, building me, preparing me to step even more boldly into my role. For you are not here to live in reaction. You are here to live in revelation. Let others look to facts. You live from faith. Let others measure based on appearances. You walk by inner vision. Let others tell you what's possible based on history. You create what's possible based on imagination. You are no longer confined by what has been. You are led by what is becoming. And that becoming is not random. It is divine. It is specific. It is your mission unfolding in perfect time and form. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are right on time. Because the moment you assume your identity as one sent by the divine, time becomes your servant. Events begin to organize themselves not by logic, but by faith. The right call comes. The right opportunity appears. The right door opens. And you no longer ask how. You simply know. Because the one who is on a mission from God does not need to know the entire plan. They only need to trust the source that gave them the vision. So trust it. Trust your longing. Trust your desires. Trust the voice that calls you higher. It is not fantasy, it is prophecy. You are not hoping for something outside of you to save you. You are allowing the divine within you to express itself as you. That's the difference. That's the power. This is what makes your steps sacred. This is what makes your life holy. Not because you wear a robe, not because you quote scripture, but because you have remembered who you are. And from that remembrance your life begins to mirror heaven itself. Not someday now. There is no delay in the spiritual realm, only belief or disbelief. And now that you believe, now that you assume your role, There is no force in the world that can stop what is already in motion. For when you act as if you're on a mission from God, the entire universe bends to meet your assumption, not because you are special, but because you are awake. This awakening is not a moment. It is a movement, a constant unfolding of your divine nature. You will notice the change not in grand announcements, but in subtle shifts. The way you speak to yourself, the way you respond to difficulty, the way you carry yourself in silence. You become less interested in being understood and more committed to understanding. You stop waiting for signs and become the sign. You stop searching for light and realize you are the light. You begin to walk through this world with a stillness that confuses chaos, with a certainty that quiets doubt, because deep inside you know nothing outside of you holds the power to define you. You are not reacting to the world. You are creating your world through the way you see, believe, and assume. You are not here to chase anything. You are here to realize, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to rest in the knowing that the thing you desire is already yours. And when you rest in that knowing, not wishfully but faithfully, you live in alignment with divine purpose. The feeling becomes the prayer, and that prayer is never unanswered, for it is the language of God. God does not respond to words. God responds to belief, and belief is made manifest through assumption. That is why to act as if you're on a mission from God is to already have received. It is to bypass waiting. It is to move in certainty. It is to become the thing you once sought. So when people see you now, they won't know what changed, but they will feel it. Your presence will carry weight. Your words will carry energy, not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. Not because you've gained something new, but because you've remembered what was always there. This remembering is the beginning of everything, and you will return to it daily, because the world will try to make you forget. It will show you evidence of lack. It will point to limitations. It will reflect the old self. But now you know better. Now you look beyond the mirror and see what only the soul can see, the blueprint of God being etched through your every assumption. And in this space you are no longer seeking transformation. You are embodying it. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are giving them. You are no longer hoping for the world to change. You are becoming the change in form. And as you walk quiet, bold, unwavering, you will realize that acting as if you're on a mission from God was never a metaphor. It is the most accurate description of who you really are. When this truth settles into your bones, when it echoes through your breath and speaks through your silence, you will no longer doubt the power that moves in you. You will no longer ask, "Am I worthy?" You will know, because the one who sent you has made you worthy by the very act of choosing you. Your existence is your permission slip. Your desires are your instructions, and your imagination is your sacred map. You begin to see that every desire birthed within you has already been fulfilled in a higher realm. You are not hoping for miracles. You are delivering them. You are not striving to convince the world of your mission. Your life becomes the evidence. Your energy becomes a testimony of what it means to live as one who remembers where they came from and where they are going. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for your vision. No more doubting your own intuition. From now on you stand in full alignment with your divine assignment. You act, speak, and move as one who has been sent. And the more you do, the more life itself confirms your assumption. Synchronicities multiply. What once felt distant becomes familiar. What once felt impossible becomes inevitable. This is the law of assumption. The law that God has written not just in Scripture, but in your soul. To live by this law is to claim your rightful place in the divine orchestra of creation. It is to rise above appearances and move with the authority of the unseen. It is to smile in the face of contradiction, knowing that reality is nothing more than clay in the hands of your conviction. As you continue in this new state of being, you'll find that you no longer seek validation, because you are the validation. You no longer chase love, because you radiate love. You no longer fear the future, because you know the end is already written, and written in your favor. Every step you take is infused with divine certainty, not because you have all the answers, but because you carry the answer within, the knowing that you are not walking toward your destiny, but from it. So keep walking, keep assuming, keep imagining, keep becoming, because the mission is unfolding. The vision is materializing. And the world will not be changed by your striving, but by your knowing. Your knowing will become unshakable, not because the world confirms it, but because your inner world confirms it first. You do not need outer applause when the inner applause has already begun. You do not need a crowd when the silence within cheers you on. You will feel it deep in your being, a calm, holy fire that cannot be extinguished. That is the power of one who has remembered. That is the power of one who acts as if they're on a mission from God. You will begin to do everything with intention. The way you speak, the way you eat, the way you walk. Nothing is random anymore. You are no longer sleepwalking through your life. You are choosing. And with every choice, you are reinforcing the truth of who you are. Not a servant of fate, not a victim of circumstance, but a living extension of divine will, cloaked in human form, speaking with the voice of the eternal. Others will ask, what changed? But they won't understand until they too awaken, because this knowing, this path, is not taught through words alone. It is revealed through experience, through surrender, through the sacred assumption. You've stopped trying to get life to work for you, and instead allowed yourself to work with life, in rhythm with God's vision. With each passing day, the gap between the imagined and the physical shrinks. You see things happen not with surprise but with confirmation. Yes, of course, it had to happen. I've already seen it, felt it, lived it inside me. The world is only catching up. It's only playing out the divine film you've been projecting through your imagination. This is your power. This is your inheritance. You were never meant to live a life of quiet desperation. You were never meant to shrink to fit a world too afraid to dream. You were born to transform it, to light it up, to walk into it not with answers, but with presence. And let your very being shift the vibration of a room. You'll realize one day quite naturally that you haven't just been living a mission. You are the mission. You've become the embodiment of the very thing you were seeking. You've turned belief into being. You've moved from wishing into knowing, from asking into commanding, from separation into oneness. In that oneness, everything begins to make sense, not in a logical step-by-step way, but in a deep soul-level recognition. You'll look back and see how every twist, every turn, every delay was not a detour, but a design. You'll understand that nothing was wasted. The pain had a purpose. The silence had a sound. The emptiness was preparing you to be filled with something greater than you could have ever imagined. And now here you are, not chasing destiny, but revealing it. Not waiting for the world to recognize your value, but walking in the truth that your value is eternal, untouched, unshaken. Even the way you experience time begins to change. You no longer rush. You no longer panic. You live from a state of divine flow, knowing that what is yours cannot miss you. You understand that your mission is not to manipulate outcomes, but to master inner states. Because the world does not respond to effort, it responds to assumption. And your assumption, once saturated with belief and feeling, moves mountains. Not figuratively, literally. Entire lives are altered when one soul remembers its mission. You become a lighthouse, a reminder to others of what's possible when a person dares to live from the end. You speak not to impress, but to awaken. You share not to convince, but to inspire. Because your life itself becomes the message. Your joy, your peace, your unwavering calm in chaos, that becomes the sermon. People may not understand it at first, but they will feel it. They will be drawn to you, not for what you do, but for who you are being. What are you being? A vessel, a channel, a divine instrument wrapped in skin, tuned to the frequency of heaven, not in some abstract, untouchable way, but in a grounded, tangible, real way. You are not becoming some version of yourself. You are returning to the version that was always written, always known, always waiting to be assumed. When you finally assume it, not just mentally, but emotionally, spiritually, energetically, the shift is irreversible. The old self cannot hold its shape in the presence of this new awareness. The doubts that once clung to you fall away. The habits that once defined you dissolve. You no longer need to fight to become. You simply be. And from that being, all things are drawn to you. People, places, ideas, wealth, opportunity. Not as trophies of effort, but as reflections of your inner certainty. This is the quiet majesty of acting as if you're on a mission from God. You walk not with the heavy burden of proof, but with the lightness of presence. You don't need to explain yourself, because your energy explains everything. You don't need to defend your vision, because your results speak louder than your reasoning ever could. The world starts to echo back the new vibration you carry, and you realize you're not bending reality. You're simply aligning with the reality that was always yours. And it's then that you understand. The real miracle is not in getting what you want. It's in remembering who you are. It's in the return to yourself, the self that God dreamed into form. That is the moment heaven touches earth, not through thunder or fire, but through you. Through a soul who finally dares to live, love, move, speak, and imagine as if they are fulfilling a divine mission. And you are. So keep going. Not with fear, but with fire. Not with hesitation, but with holiness. Because your mission is not coming. It's already here. And you, dear one, are the one chosen to live it. So now I leave you with this truth. Etched not in stone but in spirit. You are not random. You are not lost. You are not ordinary. You are here on purpose. With purpose. For purpose. The mission is not something you find. It is something you remember. And once remembered, it is something you live. Act as if you're on a mission from God. Because you are. Let that knowing shape your choices, your posture, your presence. Let it be the fire behind your words, and the stillness in your silence. Let it elevate the way you think, feel, and move. And when doubt comes knocking, when the world tries to distract you, return to the inner truth. You were sent here by the divine to be the divine in motion. You are not here to blend in. You are here to light up the world. So go forth, not waiting, not wishing, but walking in faith, in power, in absolute certainty. The mission has begun, and the world is waiting for you to reveal what only you can bring. You are not becoming. You are being. You are not hoping. You are knowing. You are not searching. You are sent. Live accordingly.